Um, Hi, I'm Lisi the High Priestess. You can find me on TikTok, Lisi the High Priestess for my readings, Lisi's World for Mother Talents, High Priestess 86 on IG, and Lisi the High Priestess 2 por YouTube y TikTok Español para mi gente latina. YouTube, press like, subscribe, notification bell. With the notification bell, you can get my lives. If not, you have to wait 12 hours. I like to tell unique stories. So they don't resonate with everyone, but they're unique. I mean, if you like good stories, I'm the one you want to listen to. Plus, throughout the reading, I'll do something. I do some general. I got Princess Jasmine with me. I was thinking today because I often think about me and my Capricorn bestie. When we were young, they used to call her Jennifer Lopez, and they called me Maya. And I hated my hair black because people said I looked Middle Eastern. I hated it. And they would call me Princess Jasmine. I hated it. So if someone has my voodoo doll, lick the coochie part. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Capricorn, I'm kidding. Someone's like, yes. Look, would you say? Someone could be Middle Eastern that's watching me. Also, Capricorn. I was watching something on TikTok about a Somalian model, and they had her circumcised. I guess they would stitch them up, right? And till the day they got married, then the husband will rip it out and then have intercourse with their wife. I don't know where they practice this. I don't know what is. I'm just saying I saw it on TikTok. And my heart was like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad. And I was pissed at the same time because they had used a male to translate because the lady was gone. And instead of translating what the doctor said, he said that she would be an abomination and all this. And it's crazy how people can manipulate people of the third world countries, right? Human trafficking is big with trafficking people from third world countries. That is a fact. That is a fact. I was with the Capricorn when I was watching. I was talking to her about human trafficking in certain states, and I would always like to emphasize when you go hiking, go in a group. A lot of people who learn to live off of the woods, and it's not everybody. There's real cowboys out there. Y'all watch Yellowstone? I've been out to Montana. Them people don't play. There's a lot of military people out there. They were raised to or trained to survive that type of wilderness. Also, there are crimes that are committed within the government, whether you've seen the documentary, whether you've seen it yourself. And every organization, institution, religion, or even the things I'm into, there's good and bad. You can meet some amazing people, but you could also meet people that are out of their mind. A lot of people like to take psychedelics while they're out there. You don't know what their mind is capable when they're under the influence of drugs, and even worse, under the influence of a bad person with bad intentions. Very primal. Before I get into the tarot, I mean, sometimes I just channel and I give out messages because I'm inclined to do that. You don't know people's intentions. You're telling them one thing and they're telling somebody else a whole other. You feel me? They taking advantage of the third person situation under the government. And this situation in the TikTok that I saw in the scenario with the Somalian woman that she was talking about, and the experiences that I have seen on how people have taken advantage of people from the third world country, the kind of abuse, authoritative abuse. Someone knows that someone doesn't want to go back to a hell, so you use that. They use that. They groom these people to do certain things because it's a pimp my mentality. Now, when I go back into the woods, and that's what I'm talking about, third world countries, a lot of it is not just the cities are very different. These third world countries, cities are very different. They're not the ranches. Coming from someone that's been to a third world country, cities are very different. You have different types of dangers there versus out to the ranches. Well, I would say, aka the woods. If there's certain regions, the certain areas are meant to keep you out, or there's a lot of certain mysterious things that happen there. They're known, those areas are known for anything to happen. Going back, I don't know where this is tied into, but there is real stories of people that like disappeared in the woods. Always make sure you have a compass, you have the right equipment. A couple of Capricorns have survived the wilderness with me. That shit's no joke. And then, well, I gave my friend this big old speech in a dream that I had about somebody kidnapping me, which I don't believe it really was me. I believe it was me feeling somebody's body and then being stuck at a certain location. And I mentioned this to somebody, the Four of Coins, this kind of information, kidnapping, Ten of Coins, human trafficking, sneaking people in. And one of the places, one of the most easiest places to do that is in the woods. And let me tell you, that day I had an experience, or that weekend, a couple days before that, I had a conversation with someone that talked about how she almost got raped twice in certain states by truckers, bikers. Now, this is not to target anybody because, like I said, there's good and bad people in every organization, institution, gang, association, blah, 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 blah. In this case, what I'm talking about, the dangers that can happen in the real world. You never think it can happen to you or to anybody else, but there's stories on it. There's real life pictures of people missing. I believe Walmart's known to always keep pictures of missing children. Imagine seeing yourself there one day and you're unrecognizable. And I also been watching, like, I got to watch a couple of interviews with a person that was in Las Vegas, and he knew clearly he was interviewing a drug addict and asking them what they survived off and how they end up there and talking about their stories. There's another one, Underground Belly on YouTube. He does a lot of that. He's actually made some pimps famous and some hoes, like for real, real pimps and hoes. And also, it gives you the tragedy of life and how lost you could be in the drug addiction. And these people, because dude, man, in my city, there's this certain place downtown, and there's this woman that walks around her hair crazy, and she always dresses like a witch. I'm sure she was a witch in her beginning times of this darkness, but she has a pagan symbol right here, and she walks around like this, like if something is about to enter her, and she walks in the middle of the intersection where everybody's driving. And one too many times I have seen her and I've had to like pray for her. And sometimes when I see and look in the woods, people learn how to survive. Recently in Seattle, there had a fire exploded and it burnt down a lot of homeless shelters, or like real homeless tents and stuff like that. I know in the cities and stuff like that. I believe Vice TV is one of the people that investigated Colombia for them actually hunting people that were poor out in the city were known to throw bombs wherever they were laying at, and they had people covered up saying that they were the filth, because you know how they go undercover. They take you can't show their faces or whatnot, but it's the truth. They'll tell you the truth as long as you can't see their faces. Also, as long as you don't see their face, you can see the truth. Nine of coins. They can even do it in broad daylight. I know I've heard stories of people in the third world country in Mexico where they survived kidnapping. People on motorcycles picking up kids in the middle of the day and taking off with them. Now, the reasons why I talk about this awareness is because it's something that is very real. It happens all the time and right in front of us. And these younger generation kids are so raised on like the things that they hear on in the music industry. I'll kidnap your kids, I kidnap this, the things that we put out into the world sometimes can affect us greatly. We could have been in that mind mentality maybe like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, before we understood awareness and what the actual industry is all about. We as stars look great in front of the world, but there's a lot of pain behind it and a lot of eerie things. If that were to be exposed, it would make life incredibly a very dark place to live in. You have happy moments and you have very sad moments, and then you have very amazing moments, and it's like your fucking blood pressure is either up or down. There's no in between. The highs and the lows of what really is in front of us. We human traffic in music industry, in Hollywood. We make these young people look good, and they become stars and they have too much power and they don't know how to use it. Therefore, people who are have been finessing people at this age, they groom them to be a certain way. Then you wonder why they act back crazy in front of the world. Also, our worst behavior as children, the need to run away from home, get trapped in abuse because you think the world is nice and streets don't love you, and they never will. Knight of Staff and the Strength card. You have to be hella strong in a world full of fools. Now, I also want to tell you, because this is not always me pulling out the tarot. It's me having conversations with you about real shit in real life. Shit you hear on TV all the time. I'm sorry I don't put up the comments, but it just makes it better for me to focus on what I got to say. I was just watching, I forgot the title to the name, but it's on Netflix. It was meant for me to watch it. There's this boy that has very powerful gifts. His nose bled. He's like the real Messiah. There's another movie, it's called The Messiah on Netflix. That's a really good movie, man. And I start to wonder if people with gifts are many versions of Messiah, the next chapter of the Bible. And it was funny because I had talked about this. I don't know, Anita reading or talked to me, but I like to erase them because watching this movie has brought a lot of light into why things are the way they are. This kid, he could heal people, and it can cause a facade where everybody wants to be your friend, and you start forgetting yourself that you got real friends, and you start, shitting on your real friends and going with the hype. And it looked outside, looking into the movie, it looked like they were going through the entity. That if you watch The Passion of Christ, it was the entity, which was the devil. but he has angels too, dark ones, that send out voices to everyone and cause hysteria. And one moment, and this is how the industry really is. This is how the industry really is. One moment they love you, and the next they hate you, and then they love you again. The fucking there's no in between. And so this kid healed everyone, right? And there was one kid that tried to kill him many times. He really did. He tried to put a knife up to him. And every time he got saved, well, when he passed away, he was supposed to pass away, but he didn't pass away. A whole semi landed on him. I might be telling, I'm telling the movie. I'm telling the fucking movie. I'm so sorry. You can't watch movies with me. Okay. If we were to be in a relationship, Capricorn, we wouldn't make it because I watch the shit without you. I don't give a fuck. Sorry. Not sorry. And I'll probably tell you about it. So let me just shut the fuck up. Moral of the story is having those kinds of gifts comes with a lot of power and responsibility. And not all attention is good attention. You know, this thing called fame, it can suck you in and spit you the fuck out. I've had people that love the fuck out of me and then hate me because they love me. It's one of the most craziest emotions anybody can have. Have you? And I understand it because I felt that too. You ain't never felt that, Capricorn? You love somebody so much you hate them for it, or vice versa. If you've never felt that, I'm sure someone has felt that at least once in their life, whether it was with a friend, with a teacher, with a coworker, like someone that you love so much. Even, and this is notorious amongst your children. It's not that you hate them, but certain things that you're like, what the fuck, I have to deal. It's almost like, blood is thicker than water. But that's my brother, but that's my sister, that's my dad, that's my mom, but that's my friend. And you don't understand why they do certain things to you, and you allow it to happen because I've been down that road. I've been down that road just like everybody. And we all get to play parts in different roles. You're somebody's sister, you're someone's mother, you're someone's best friend, you're someone's lover. You get to play different roles in different places. So perspective on you will be very different than the perspective that you have looking in the mirror. You're living in your own Hollywood with the same entities, maybe not always with a phone. See, back then they used scripture to write down. Now, the phone is the new Bible, exposing real stories and even fake ones. Because in the very beginning, these kids they just knew science. And with science, you can explain a lot of things, but there's some things science cannot explain. The act of faith can be very unexplainable, and even the act of a miracle. But they say it's 1 in a million chances. And the miracle is that 1 million chance happens to be you with that 1 million choice that is going to create either the ending or the beginning of a new way of life. The bond he had with his mother, mom knows best. She had to choose the right time to tell the truth. When you tell your children the truth, they might even hate you for it because they know it's the truth. And they may even call you a liar, a hypocrite. They might even lash out on you because you knew if you told them at a very young age, they wouldn't be able to handle their own truth of what really is in this cruel world, the real story behind closed doors. And everybody that's playing a role in your life, in your little mini Hollywood, is connected to you in so many ways to conspire what you call yourself. When do we start taking control of our own destiny and we say no to behaviors and we put boundaries for ourselves and we love ourselves before we let ego take over us? Accountability is a big, big, and awesome way to break ego. The partaking of the makings of you. I don't know why people were born in different chaoses. I don't know. All I know, I'm glad I'm not that little kid, man. Because if I had them kind of gifts, I wouldn't tell you guys shit. I'm getting off of YouTube. I'm getting off of this. I'm gonna walk in the fucking island for 40 days and 40 nights. Y'all got me fucked up. And he was asking the guy. He was like, "Well, what did Jesus do?" Jesus was not living in these times, and Jesus isn't cool in our times. There's a lot of Jesuses working out in the fields so we can eat. They were working in the fields during COVID-19 times because they come from a third world country. There's just something about human slavery and human trafficking that our humans, our people, different bloodlines just cannot stop. But the thing about what's coming is that we all have the ability to free our mind from bondage. Death is a hell of a fucking topic because many people fear that topic. They rather talk about life. You don't know life until you understand death. To have witnessed it, experienced it, lived through it, it's a different type of antidote. It's a shame to throw away what you can choose today with 24 hours of your day, of my day. So I try to keep myself busy a lot, and I'm forced to sit the fuck down. I'm having OCD. So now I'm talking to you guys about deep ass shit. You guys are like, damn, she needs to hit the gym. I know. I need to hit the gym, but I can't. I slept wrong. I don't know what the fuck I did. I don't know how, like, I just gotta, I don't know. We don't know. I don't even know why some people are meant to know other things. I don't know why some people are mediums. I don't know. You don't think that sometimes they feel like it's too much when people start idolizing someone because they have special gifts? I sure the fuck don't want to be idolized. Being a model is one thing, but being idolized is a whole other thing. That ain't for me, man. We leave that up to God. You can't see God. You can only, I don't know, the true presence of God is just all knowing that He's there. And that just comes with trust. And I feel like with trust, people can manipulate that. Because one moment in this realm, at least, one moment they can love you and the next they can hate you. And then they can abuse that into trafficking humans in a certain way. Human trafficking within the organization is an institution, like when they become cults, and they start grooming young kids to do fucking, I don't, God knows what. And that's the truth. People don't see the truth. The beginning of times of Adam and Eve, history and everything. It's just back then there was no technology. And they say in Discovery that there was technology then, but it was all wiped away. If technology like laptops and stuff can just be wiped away, there will be no evidence of it. The only evidence you will find is whatever is left as an artifact, like stone. I don't know. I think I have too much of my noggin going on that sometimes I will do the readings, sometimes I won't. I'm tired. I don't want to do no more readings. I might do a talk to me because I can, talk more about topics to the general. But I don't know. This is just for Capricorn. And in this movie, the trucker, I don't know what that trucker did that he couldn't get his soul back. And then the consequences of giving life to someone that was meant to die. And that kid was forcing the other kid to make his dad come alive. Abuse of power and the consequences of abusing your power or it wasn't meant to be. And then in one of the situations where a man wanted him to heal the mom, but the mom was ready to go. She was tired of living. She was at peace with her life. She wanted to move on and he didn't want her to move on. He wanted him to save her by all means possible. Some things are meant for God. And then he couldn't see where the little girl that he was in love with can see where her missing brother was at. And everything on there was very just like Christian, like how Jesus went through where they washed his feet and everything. The girls were doing all that. And outside looking in, just like the mom was outside looking in, she was like, this isn't right. And he could be in serious danger with serious organizations and institutions. And that's just what it is when tarot reading and divination came to play when YouTube was created. I don't know how long after YouTube was created that they allowed tarot readers and stuff to use their divination on these platforms. And that is like exposing yourself as a certain outside looking in. That's how it can look at other people. There will be people that would damn near worship you. And it could become some people enjoy it and some people don't. But outside looking in, an audience with different perspectives could think very differently about the content that you put out there. Not everybody loves me. I've heard rumors about myself being a witch. That is crazy. I don't know if I can agree with it or disagree with it. Because if you're going to call me something, I might as well be comfortable with it. It's like you calling me a bitch. If I'm going to be a bitch, I'm going to be the baddest bitch out here. If I'm a witch, then I'm a good witch. I'm a good noodle. I promise you, I'm a good noodle. But I don't need to prove that to anybody because I will leave that for God to weigh because eventually they turned on him acting like if he was something very dark. Although he has saved a lot of people, it became very dark because when they didn't like something the way it went down, then they were the bad guy. Then they were dark and then everybody wanted to lynch him. You do something for the good and it comes out looking real bad. But outside looking in, someone else could see what was about to happen. I've been through those kinds of experiences. I don't know if you have. And like I said, I like to have unique stories. So usually this will be someone of great divination, someone who understands. Because if you are in divination, as far as a high priestess, a high priest, and I happen to know a lot of people, by the way. So the chances are not slim. Some are in the public eye and some are not. But some protect their identity because they don't want to, they've seen that happen. And there's some people that's their journey is to be a martyr for the people who are behind closed doors. Now I'm giving you guys a hella knowledge, hella fucking knowledge without the cards. This is knowledge that some people will never be able to comprehend. They will be like, she's fucking crazy. Where the fuck did she get these topics? What are you watching? What movie is this? I'm gonna see for myself. Now, if you outside looking in, it speaks on it in history. Maybe because people who have special gifts go through the same journey in different times. History is meant to repeat itself. The government was even involved. Religion was involved, and people of religion were the very ones that were stoning Jesus Christ. You never lost a good friend, though. He didn't die. See, because that's how legends are created. They live forever, even when they're not there in the flesh.